Pictured on the wall, pictures of my life from the times when we had it all. We had it all. I really thought fairy tales could become true, living now our lives to the point where it's me and you. It was me and you.
Hey, welcome back to another video of Elijah Jones. I am not singing in this video, guys, just, FYI. I know majority of my videos, I always singing, but the title of this video is legit gonna be Elijah is talking to you beautiful people. It's telling you guys my I guess you could say my musical journey and probably throw in a couple of, I think I'm gonna make this into a series while I find ways to do more singing videos, because I'm gonna just put it out there, guys. One, I don't work right now. I'm unemployed. I'm looking for a job, so I can come back to you beautiful people with new music, which I have been writing. I wrote this one song called "Get the Getaway," and the song that I wrote, it's done, it's finished. Now it's on my part to just look for a job so I can have the funds to go back into the studio. I'm gonna just give you a quick heads up for anyone who doesn't really know much about the music industry. I'm still learning the whole ins and outs of the music industry. I don't know much about it. I just know that, I remember a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, to be exact, I released my first single from my album Forever Elijah, which I hope, please keep streaming it, because if you stream it, that's money in my pocket. If you don't stream it, there's no money in my pocket. And also I will put in my Cashapp Tag down below if you want to be generous. One thing I know that to most others that may sound like I'm begging, but technically I'm not. If you want to give me a blessing by sending me some money, I appreciate that, but I'm not begging. That's one thing I don't do. But anyway, one thing I've learned is that, when it comes to, if you have your own royalties and stuff like that, my dog is over here acting crazy. If you have your own royalties, and basically what royalties are is, if you write majority of your own songs, all your royalties is gonna come to you. If you happen to co-write a song with another artist, you're gonna have to split it 2 ways, and obviously once you split the income 2 ways, then you will get your check and the other person will get their check. Obviously, it's all about streaming. If the song is constantly being streamed, daily, every week, every month, every year, the writers who was on that song, because I'm gonna give you a quick lesson here, guys. So, there are singers who in the entertainment industry who just, they go in the studio, the producer's like, "Hey, I've written this hot song for you. You want to sing it?" That's what you call, because they're I don't like the terminology, but it's basically if you're just a singer and you have other people write for you, your job is going to be a lot harder, because if you don't write any of your material, you have no choice but to constantly tour non-stop, because touring is basically where singers, entertainers make their money. If you happen to write, co-write on your album, it's basically, you have to make sure you work, you have a lawyer involved, make sure that the earnings is split in between the 2 artists that co-wrote for the particular songs that was on the record or whatever. And that's really it. I'm give a prime example. Mariah Carey, because I love her personally. I think she's a great artist, a great singer, and overall just a great talent. Mariah Carey's first album. Of course, Mariah Carey. In the earlier days, she talked about her writing partner. I forget his last name, but his first name was Peter. Peter something. I can't remember his last name, but I will make sure to put it in the description down below. I will. But I know his first name was Peter. Peter, I think it was Peter Margolese. It's like, I don't know if it's Italian or Dutch. I don't know, but don't kill me, please. But it was like Peter Margolese or something. Okay, him and Mariah Carey wrote dozens of songs for her first record. Obviously, when they was writing these songs, they were at the time. This is the 80s. This is 2023. Basically what I'm trying to say is this. Back in the day, if a man or a woman, but it was mainly a lot of men that was writing for women, which I find so odd, but it worked out anyway. If a man wrote a whole song and the woman happened to put her voice to it, she doesn't get paid. She has to legit go on tour just to make her cash. And touring, I've never toured yet. I would love to tour, one day. I mean, I know I've heard so many stories. Touring can be grueling. I've heard stories, like I've watched interviews with Michael Jackson. I've seen oh my God, like touring is like, obviously when you're like I'm 27, like when you're young, like when you're 20, 21, even 27, 30, it's pretty fun. But if you are 30 and you're married and you got kids, that could be a problem, because that could be really, really hard. But I have ADHD, so but anyway, back to my point. So basically, like if a man was to write for a woman, or just in general, just a lot of writers writing for other singers, these singers that are singing these songs that have turned into like massive hits that most of the black community knows, and even the white community as well, and all types of genres of different ethnicities and stuff like that, knows these songs. These singers that are singing most of these songs are written by other artists, and these artists are getting royalties from that particular song. If a particular, like Desiree, prime example, you guys might know who Desiree is. Desiree a lot of people in America think that she was a one hit wonder, but she really wasn't. Most of you guys, I know her whole discography personally. I'm a big fan of her. I love her music personally. I know, like I said, I know her whole discography. People who might know Desiree is because of this one song that is just so catchy and so pop, and it's just so it's so uplifting, it's so positive. The lyrics is cute. The lyrics is it's just a cute ass song. The song I'm talking about is called "You Gotta Be." Now I'm gonna sing a little bit of it. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser, you gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. Now, like I said, most of you guys might know her from that one song, and of course over here in America, because most Americans just a little ignorant when it comes to music, they consider that a one-hit wonder, because back in the day when that song came out, for some reason, not even for some reason, because like I said, it's a really, really awesome song. It was a smash hit to the point where VH1 had no choice but to play the song in rotation in almost every music video that they was playing back to back in the day when the song came out. It was just a smash hit. And to this day, Desiree wrote that song. I believe I think she's on the only writer on that song, I believe. And to this day, that song is used in commercials. That song, believe it or not, there's an episode on The Flash. I can't remember. Don't ask me. I don't know. But there's an episode it was an episode where the song was used, and where the song was used on that particular episode of The Flash, and I was like, Desiree is good. You know, like Desiree doesn't necessarily have to like come out with any new material. Like, I mean, like she's in her 50s. She is. She's got some like obviously she's had some some stuff going on in her personal life. I never met her. I would love to meet her one day. I mean, she's around my mom's age, believe it or not. She's like 55, like 54, 55, I think it is. And she's just an incredible talent. I mean, like, and again, she did release an album back in 2019, and I was like stoked about it because I was like, she at the time in 2019, this was like legit before the shutdown, before the way we are living right now, COVID. I remember when the album dropped, I could not stop listening to that record. That record, it was just full of just positivity. And I just love the album. The songs were just so miraculous, and the lyrics were just they were so powerful. Like it cut through me, like it legit cut through me like wind. And there were some love songs. There were some songs that were talking about her own personal struggles, and I was just like, oh my god! I love music. And then when I had the opportunity to make my own record, make my own album, and write my own songs for my album, I felt like my god, like I'm part of that crew now. I'm part of the Michael Jacksons. I'm part of the Whitney Houstons, the Desirees, the Tina Turners, the Diana Rosses, the Boys to Men, the Temptations. I mean, like, there's so many artists that I love and I look up to, and I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be on that stage. I want to do a world tour. Like, I want, I mean, and again, as much as I've heard so many stories about touring and how it can be very, very taxing on the body, that's only if you don't take care of your body properly. But still, like, there's people in their 70s, like I won't like before Mary Wilson passed away. I remember she like before she passed away, maybe like 5 years earlier. 5 years earlier, I think she was doing some spa days, like in like clubs, and I'm like, but that's good though. She was keeping herself moving, and But I know for a fact, like, I mean, it probably wasn't as fun because she's older now, and like I said, but I definitely cannot wait to be on my first tour. I just love being on stage. I mean, yeah, of course I get a little nervous, and I remember you guys might know, you've probably seen the video already. I got like 10 likes on that video. I did an open mic back in May, and I don't know, I just felt so good to just be on stage, and I did it a cappella, and it was kind of a full circle moment because I remember back in like, I think it was like 2016, I think it was, or 20, one of those 2 years, I think it was 2016 for sure. I I did an a cappella version of this song called "How Can People Be So Cruel." That I also re-recorded, but I might end up re-recording it into like an R&B song. So I have some songs, but anyway. But I did this song called "How Can People Be So Cruel" a cappella back in like 2016, either 20, like I said, in 2015, 16, or 17, one of those years. I can't remember exactly, and and it was just a very monumental moment for me because I really just enjoyed being on the stage and showing off my voice, and it was just like, whoa, like I really want to do this. And I remember, like I said, when I first like released my single like internationally, I guess you could say, because like I distributed it around the world because it's on all platforms. I remember like 6 months in, going into the new at the time I released it in 2021, going into 2022. I remember I wasn't working towards the end of 2021, going into 2022. I got paid $50. But I know to some people that's not a whole lot, but in that moment, sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit or a lot. it's just the fact of the matter is like I earned this money because I worked hard, and I put my heart and soul into this particular song that most people love, and I found comfort in that. People was playing my music when I went to North Carolina, family members, believe it or not, that I never met, and some of them have heard of me, some of them didn't even know about me, some of them didn't even know I was a singer, a songwriter. Nobody knew I was a YouTuber, and it kind of made me feel kind of good to like not have that title. Because I don't know why, I'm very humble. Like, I'm extremely humble. Like, when anyone plays my song, I'm like I get excited, but at the same time, it's like part of me is like, well, if they're listening to it, I'm gonna get paid. So, but I'm just like, I get so like nervous. I'm like, oh my god, like because this is like my baby in a way. Like I don't want anyone to judge it. I mean, of course, people are gonna say what they have to say. Good critique, bad critique or whatever. I like. There's a lot of people that said that when Houston can sing, and that woman can sing legit anything. And I've been told I couldn't sing. You know, and so I do I'm just very proud of myself that I've made it this far into my journey of my musical journey. So I'm very happy for myself, and I'm proud of myself. So I thank you guys for allowing me to be me and allowing me to express myself through my music and able to express myself through my YouTube channel, because I've told a lot on my YouTube channel. I've talked about my suicide attempts, talked about my depression. I talked about times that I didn't want to be here on this earth. I wanted to just die and just go away. And I thank you. I thank you, because if it was not for this platform that I'm on, maybe I probably would have done it, a couple of years ago, or or recently, or whatever. But I always say music does save souls. It doesn't matter if you're doing gospel music, R&B music, pop music, jazz, country, whatever genre that's out there in the world. That if you love music, always go for your dreams. If you want to be a person who does a podcast, do it. It takes words to say something, but to actually go at it and put it into the motion and actually do it, oh my gosh, it's a life-changing moment. All I had to do was ask the question, do you know a producer? And someone found me a producer, and I ended up releasing my first single, like, internationally around the world. Am I super famous? No. Am I popular? Yes. So I'm still driving high on my single Freedom, believe it or not, because I have no new material out, and I want people to understand, I'm taking it slow this time around. I want to be able to enjoy the process of my second album when I start the process of it. Once I start working again. I want to, because I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. Last year, when I was like, I started working on my album last year. Like, I started working on it last year, and then I released 2 singles last year. I released 4 singles off my album. The first single was Freedom. That was in 2021. The second single was Stay, 2021. I was on, I had surgery on my foot, so I wasn't working. Got a new job working at Virtua Hospital. And released 2 more singles. And then while I was releasing all these singles, I was working, on new music for my album. And, and then I ended up releasing my album September. Late of September. It was on my best friend's birthday, Renee. Hey, Renee. And and then I dropped it in September of 2022, and You know, I was in the beginning. I was getting great numbers. You know, the numbers were really, really high, and I was very happy about it. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like people are actually listening to my album. I was very shook, and I was like nervous. I was like, you know, I was like, "Oh my god!" And then, you know, and then of course, you know, I wanted to start working. I wanted to start working on my second album, but you know, things happen. But you know, I'm ready to get myself back out there in the world and get myself, you know, I want people to hear new music from me and hear a whole new side of Elijah Jones. You know, you got an opportunity to see like part of my life on my first album. And then my second album is going to be like another part of my life. You know, I started working on this album when I was 26. Yeah, 26. You know, so I have a lot of memories at 20. Believe it or not, 24 technically. I started working on this project at 24. I released Freedom in February of 2021. I was going to be 25 that year. I was. And I released it in February. A little tired. And then I released it in February. And then like a few months later, my birthday came and I was 25. So I started working on this project when at 24, you know, and then I resumed working on it at 25, going on 26, and then released my first album at 26, and I was just so happy for myself. Like, all right. So this is part 1 of the series, and I'm going to be releasing these videos every Thursday. Just like I was doing my singing videos. I'm probably going to do these little talking videos. I'm probably going to do like maybe like 3 or 4 of these videos. We don't know yet. I don't know. You know, I do enjoy the singing videos. So this is like a new series kind of sort of. So I'm probably going to put Elijah Jones talking videos, Elijah Jones talk to you beautiful people, and hopefully you guys listen. I know the video is long, I know, but I appreciate you guys. Love you. May God bless you, and I will see you very soon again. Bye.